Is it drama time? Oh my god, did someone make a video about me? Like, what have I done to piss someone off? Yu-Gi-Oh is dying. No, it's thriving. Okay.
Good you.
How did All right, let's first off, I didn't say Yu-Gi-Oh is dying. I said Yu-Gi-Oh is dead. Like, what's it called? This video was this made today? I made my video like a month ago. And I also said, you know, let's just watch this video.
And welcome to the house. Yu-Gi-Oh is dying! I feel like this argument is being parroted and reverbed throughout the community anytime we have a less than palatable format, but I want to address it in the sense that there are some real troubles that Yu-Gi-Oh is facing that it hasn't in the past, but Yu-Gi-Oh is actually thriving during the crush card, during the time where we're under lockdown, rather
we can say coronavirus, you don't get demonetized,
than dying. So we'll start with remote duels and the massive failure that has been. We don't have an online official simulator like Magic and Pokemon, leaving us to have to try to get promos for symbolism. Yay. They have an online game, Legacy of the Duels, where we hear you're playing.
I'm just trying to get to the John's starting his video off about remote duels. We all know remote duels is trash, so like I'm just trying to get to the positive outlook on Yu-Gi-Oh. Thank you very much, Lord Bakura FX, coming through with the Twitch subscription. 21 months in a row, almost 2 full years of being a grown-ass man. Yu-Gi-Oh is dying, KW. I'm not chat. If this is supposed to be a response to me, I did not say Yu-Gi-Oh is dying. I said that 2020, this year's done, chat. It's trash. You really went back on your word about this topic. It's actually hypocritical of you. What topic? Oh, wait, hold on. No, wait. What? Are we gonna have a Cap G triggered stream, chat? Are you guys actually going to say that since I was on the other side of the Yu-Gi-Oh is dying argument 4 years ago when Asian Eyes made it, that number one, I can't reevaluate my opinion on it now? How in the hell does that make sense, chat? That would be like if I said Pepsi Cola. Someone said Pepsi Cola is dying as a company, and I said no, they're not. They're doing really good. And then 4 years later, I'm like, yeah, Pepsi Cola is dying. That's 4 years, chat. That's almost half a decade. Almost half a decade. You guys do realize the whole with Facecam, yeah, Facecam's not new. We've been doing Facecam for like 2 months. You guys do realize the whole Yu-Gi-Oh is dying thing from Asian Eyes. That wasn't this year. It wasn't last year. It wasn't the year. That was 2016, chat. 4 years ago. That's why it was asinine for him to even insinuate that he was ahead of the curve when he made the video, because Asian Eyes said something about like, people were telling him, Cap or Asian Eyes, you're a prophet, Kappa. Like, bruh, you made that video in 2016. But let's see what John has to say.
So the format feels a little bit stale with, I don't like to play against Adamancipators at all, or with Adamancipators. It's kind of that build the board.
Yeah, no one wants to play the game right now, John. That's part of the point. No one actually wants to play the meta. It's
okay,
terrible.
You go ahead and break the board, and if I'm not opening 2 good hand traps,
like you weren't right about Level Eater.
No, I was. Level Eater was broken with Synchros. Eldritch is a bit back and forth, but repetitive. It kind of has that solid vibe of, yeah, you're going to do the same thing over and over and over, but slower, trying to
Asian Eyes right. 4 years early, boys.
Yeah, it almost has solid vibes, but on the next level of a resource game. And now you have the Numerons coming to mix with Eldritch to make S0 for that you can't play game.
Yeah.
Not the most fun with battles on the horizon here about to come out. But despite all of this, I would say competitive Yu-Gi-Oh is not the heartbeat of Yu-Gi-Oh always. Let's look at the consumers. Would you say that over 20% have actually stepped foot in a locals that bothers to grab a pack from Walmart. Look at Smash. How many people actually go and play in a tournament that go and buy Smash Brothers? Now, it's a little different with physical cards. It does drive the market. Things happen, but the market is doing record numbers right now. Before we get to that, I want to show kind of a list of decks I made. Some are rogue that I have fun with, or upcoming have a little bit of hype. Right now, tier 1, the Numeron Eldritch is about to introduce itself. Eldritch Synchro and Adamant Spader are definitely at the top of the list of what people are expecting to be with Numeron / what has been dominating. Then you have Dinosaurs still hanging around, but Calamities does feel...
Okay, chat, I have to ask a question. What does any of this have to do with like proving that the game is flourishing? If John's argument is that Yu-Gi-Oh is just doing great from a financial standpoint, maybe, but that doesn't make the quality of the game better. Like, what the fuck does any of this have to do with like Yu-Gi-Oh being great or anything like that? He's looking for, no, he's talking about like a bunch of decks that he played on stream. Like, okay, congratulations, you got a bunch of deck building challenge. Like, who the fuck cares? What does any of this shit have to do with like Yu-Gi-Oh being great or prospering? Like, none of this. We're already 2.5 minutes into the we are 3 minutes into this video, and he is not discussed at all. You guys can debate this at all why it's thriving. 3 minutes into a 14-minute video. That is not 25%, but like, what the fuck?
Like Adamant Spader, where it's like, do you have the negate?
It only interests the rogue players like you. Highly competitive players would play if there were events. Well, I mean, duh, because duh, sells it. There are junkies. Like, I agree. If there were, you can have a terrible, that was also one of the things that no one seems to talk about my video, chat. I didn't just say that Yu-Gi-Oh is dead because there's no format. I said that part of the reason that Yu-Gi-Oh's dead is because there are no events. You have, it's a culmination. Not only do you have an absolutely terrible meta that no one wants to play in, you don't even have any events for them to actually play in. Like, whether or not that's Konami's fault is honestly irrelevant. It just is what it is. You know what I mean? It's something that we actually have to address. The majority of Cap's reasonings is that there aren't events. I mean, yes, I specifically talk about that. I'm like, yeah, there were 3 major points in my video, chat. Number 1, dog shit meta. I don't even have to debate that. All of you guys in the comment section, like, none of you guys even want to play current Yu-Gi-Oh. So like, I'm not even debating that because you guys are already on my side. Number 2, no actual events. Like, I mean, you can argue locals, okay, but there are no real events that like are prestigious. There are no YCSs, there are no worlds, and there are no regionals, right? So that's another thing you can't debate, though. That's just a fact. And then number 3, the outlook of the rest of the year is just terrible. Numeron's not going to make the game more fun. It's just going to make the game worse. Red Eyes Dark Dragoon is the same thing.
Or am I letting you not play?
Yu-Gi-Oh isn't dead. It's just less of an interest. That video was highly unnecessary. No, what does that mean, less of an interest? That to me is up. I don't understand what that means, less of an interest. That's something that goes up and down with like a good or a bad format. No, we're way beyond less of an interest. I wouldn't make that video just because of a bad format. We've had tons of bad formats. I made that video again because of the culmination. And even if we were in a bad format, you always have some form of positivity where you could look to the ban list and say, don't worry, the ban list will fix Yu-Gi-Oh. We can't look to that, chat. Konami just proved the ban list is kind of like irrelevant. They're not even interested in fixing the game. So this is almost exactly like last week where you were hell-bent on changing my opinion, and Yu-Gi-Oh isn't dead. Just look at Celsius channel if you want to know how dead it is. I mean, I'm not just gonna get to like analytics. We were talking about that, chat. Weren't we talking about that before the stream? I was asking like what Yu-Gi-Oh channel is like doing super well right now. The only one that people mentioned, or I give APS. I mean, Paul's just like killing it, but MBT, yeah. But that's like everybody else is doing really bad.
Sky Striker itself, but Gearsu and trying that stuff out and mixing versions of pretty darn crazy things and sets up negates to do it, but
it's 4.5 minutes, chat. He's still talking about random decks. Look, I like John, chat, but it's 4.5 minutes into his video. He is still talking about random decks that he probably paid, or that were probably just deck building challenges. These are decks that you probably had to be paid to play, John. Like, I think you're honestly proving my point. Like, if you have to be paid to play Sky Strikers, how much interest is there to like play Sky Strike? I'm not gonna do drama. I'm just like, if this is going to dispute my points, I said, chat, even before, did I say this before I made the video? I think after, but I did say it in the video. I said, if you're going to try to dispute my arguments, do not use any points as in I play this deck, Cap, and I play this deck. It can't be monetarily influenced. You can't be like, well, I played dinosaurs for 12 hours on a live stream. Did you get fucking paid to do it? Or did you just do it because you like dinosaurs? Because if you got paid to do it, you didn't play because you wanted to. You got paid. You were playing because it's your job, because you were getting paid. That's all I'm saying.
Building that
I agree with his opinion.
With fluffers when you're going first, and you still have OTK that find enjoyment of. Now let's talk numbers. Let's talk.
Okay, there we go. This is the actual 5.5 minutes into the video, and he's getting to the
Toon Chaos was shorted at the distro level. It's a set that I was already calling,
and he doesn't get paid for that deck.
Naturally.
I mean, that's fine, I guess. I don't find Eldritch, I'm just gonna call it Eldorado. I don't find that deck to be all that enjoyable and interesting. From what it seems, or from what I've garnered from the majority of the community, they agree with me. Like, people don't really find. Do you guys think that Adamancipator versus Eldritch is like a fun meta? If you guys do, that's fine. I can't change your opinion. I just want to know your honest thoughts. He does? Okay, that's good, but I don't. I mean, that's not something you can, like, that's not something where he can say my opinion's right. I'm not going to say that my opinion's right. He can't say his opinion is right. I just believe more people on the community are on my side, Telza. So like, if you're just looking at it from each person's perspective, I guess it's a push. But if you're looking at it from like what the community believes, I'm right. So like, what are we talking about? I mean, go find the over 50% of the Yu-Gi-Oh community who love the decks. Like,
because of the collectability and playability within it, and you see the sealed product is at ridiculous proportion of prices, $150 but an unlimited rewave is coming to help that. You have the collector rares, you have so many perfect storms in this box. Now, being parroted throughout the community, I heard a rumor, if you made my Wednesday live stream, it drove me crazy. Battles of Legends is not shorted at the distro level, and I've only heard one vendor say any of his product was shorted by allocation, and that he's still getting 80% of his order.
I also don't care about any of this. Like, I don't care about chat. All right, I'm just gonna put it on the table for anyone who watched this video. Where are the actual points that dispute my points? Because we're 6.5 minutes into this video. I really haven't been convinced. And I feel like I love John. I know he's smart. I don't feel like he's made any valid points. I don't really. If we're just talking about the outlook of Yu-Gi-Oh in 2020, I don't care about the decks that you personally play. I didn't bring up any decks that I like or don't like in my video. I may have mentioned Dragon Maids like one time, but to me that's all like irrelevant. Short prints, like the ratios of like cards and pack, like who the fuck cares about any of that? Like, how is any of this relevant? Seriously. Like, chat, if you guys think that I'm wrong, just tell me in the chat. I'm always open for debate. I never tell you guys, shut up, you're wrong, get out of the stream, I'm gonna ban. Like, never. When has that ever happened? If you guys just think, like, how is any of this relevant to, like, a positive outlook on Yu-Gi-Oh? I made 3 clear it's part of Yu-Gi-Oh. What part? Like, what do pull ratios have to do with anything, Selza? Like, seriously, what the fuck do pull ratios have to do with anything? John's talking about like short prints and like, who the fuck cares about that? Tell me how the game is going to get more enjoyable. Again, I said even at the end of my video, I think that 2021 can be an incredible bounce back year of Yu-Gi-Oh because we'll have events. Konami will be more serious about the ban list, and you know, we may get some more fun archetypes. But like, what does any of this shit have to do with anything? It's 6 minutes into the video. When are you going to make your points?
So we're,
in all fairness, no one thinks the meta is fun while they're in it. They don't like that. No, that's not true. I told you guys, I loved almost all of Zexal, and that's not just one format, chat. That's an entire 3-year era. There are many metas that I enjoy when I'm in it. I think that's a misnomer where we say that like we all hate all the meta decks, because sometimes you do have a lot of diversity, and some you can argue whether diversity is like a good or a bad thing in Yu-Gi-Oh, but I think some metas are just fun. Like that's just me. Nah, I'm actually on board with you for the most part. He's talking about people still buying despite the price spikes and the boxes due to COVID. I mean, yeah, if you're just talking about, all right, fair enough. But if he's just talking about Yu-Gi-Oh from a financial standpoint, I just don't think that that's a good argument, because honestly, if you're just looking at Yu-Gi-Oh from strictly a financial standpoint, I mean, I guess you could just say, well, Konami is selling 10% more packs than they did last year. I mean, I guess, but is the game better? Is the game more fun? Is the game more enjoyable to you right now? That was my whole point, chat. My whole point of my video, which Selza says was unnecessary. The whole point of my video was that 2020 Yu-Gi-Oh has just, not only has the year been bad, I'm just done with the year. The year's trash. It's not savable at this point. The format is trash. There aren't events to go to. What we know coming down the pipeline is, in my opinion, going to make the game even worse, which feels like it's going to be hard to do. I think we weren't clear on the points because we had to stretch the video to 10 minutes. Whose video? My video? What do you mean? That's another thing that's just dumb. That also sells it. I'm not. Do you understand like how much that discredits the entire purpose of what you're saying? If you're saying that this video wasn't made in earnest, then like how the hell are you seriously going to bring it to like a debate? If you're saying that part of this, I get he's talking about John, but if you're telling me that John's video could have been like, it could have been 6 minutes or 8 minutes, but he pumped it full of just bullshit just to get it over 10 minutes, then like, how do I even respect the video? I didn't pump my video to get to any certain limit or anything like that. I just spoke what the fuck I spoke what was on my mind and how I felt about the game. I wasn't just randomly adding shit to the video that had nothing to do with Yu-Gi-Oh just to get the video to a certain threshold. Like, that's stupid. I mean, don't get me wrong. I believe in pumping videos, but not if you're going to make a video, not if you're going to talk about a serious topic and you're supposed to be debating another YouTuber. Like, that doesn't make any sense. I wasn't defending his video. I didn't watch it. I'm just giving you my take. Well, no, what you said, Selza, I thought what you just said, I assumed that you had inside information. Like and if that's an accurate chat, then I apologize. I'm just going based on what you just said, Selza. I thought that like you watched John make this video on stream and he was like, guys, we got to get this video to 10 minutes. So I'm just going to talk about random. Like, I don't know that. It kind of seemed like that's what you insinuated just now. But what I'm saying is, if this is a video that is honestly supposed to be a counter to my video and what I'm saying, then there should be no room for anything like that. Everything that he says should just be straight up either factual or his opinion, not random stuff. To be completely honest, chat, a person who is known to do very good video responses where he kind of takes a lot of the emotion out of it and just kind of handles with facts. Do you guys know who I'm going to say? I'll give you guys a minute. Someone who's like, who generally has been pretty good at debating, chat, and who I believe would probably have made a better, more concise. Yeah, all right. Well, Selza guy. Yeah, Farfa. Yeah, Farfa is who I'm alluding to. No, well, I mean Drew possibly. I don't really think that he can. I don't think he doesn't really get involved in that type of stuff. The person that I was gonna go with is Farfa. Like, I'll just put it like, if Farfa made this video, chat, do you think that he would just randomly pump it like with just random stuff just to get it over a 10-minute mark? Like, there's a time to do that. And again, I think you can do that if you want to put out a regular video, that's fine. But if you're making a counter debate to somebody, your entire video needs to be convincing. Like, you don't have room to just throw random filler in it. That's what I'm saying.
Seeing record sales on a sealed product that
John is way too narrow-minded on the market. I feel like he can't relate to the other part of the game anymore. Possibly. I mean, I didn't expect him to go from the whole market perspective. And honestly, because we don't have any events, it's kind of, well, it's difficult to gauge it from a competitive standpoint, chat, because I can't be like, well, the locals numbers are up. Like, who the fuck tracks that? Like, there's no way to track how locals numbers are doing right now. But like, no, Chad, I don't have the numbers of how many boxes of Battles of Legends Konami is selling in comparisons to last year's. What was the Battles of Legend last year? Whatever the fuck that was, chat. Like, I don't know those numbers, but to me, I really don't think that matters, chat. I don't think that makes people enjoy the game more. Like, here, I'll just put it on wax. Do any of you guys give a fuck about the actual sales numbers of Yu-Gi-Oh right now? Do knowing the numbers, like if I told you guys all the sales numbers are up 10%, would that make you feel like better? Does that help you enjoy the game anymore? Like, seriously? Because I feel like as someone who still is like, Konami's making 10% more profit this year. They've sold 10% more boxes, but the format's still trash. I still don't get to play at events. Dragoon is still cancer, and Numeron's still gonna ruin the game. Why am I feeling positive about 10% more? Like, who gives a fuck about that? Like, that to me, that's not a very good argument.
If anybody's actually saying that it's shorted to you, they're either.
Oh, I watched Asian Eyes video. Asian Eyes. I honestly, but based on what I saw from Asian Eyes, I think Asian Eyes' response, even though I didn't agree with everything Asian Eyes said, I think Asian Eyes has made a better response video because, again, one of my issues with John's video is I honestly feel like it took him about 6 minutes to actually get to like some of his points. Starting out with like talking about decks that you enjoy and like that, none of this stuff matters. To seriously spend 3 minutes talking about your own personal tier list, and I played Prank Kids, I played 10 Yi Don't Hand Trap. Like, what does any of that have to do with anything? Unless you're just saying, like, man, I play all these decks and I just absolutely love them. Again, if I personally believe if it's influenced by money, I don't think that it counts. Because I think that objectively, chat, and you guys all try to put yourself in the prism of a streamer. It might be difficult, but just imagine it. Would you guys all agree that Yu-Gi-Oh could be super fun right now if you were getting paid $100 to play some shitty deck? Like Selza, Boom Gang, Breon Cat, Level 1 Mage, Super Canadian, Blade 29. I'm giving each one of you motherfuckers $100 to play 2 duels with whatever fucking random shitty deck you don't care about is. I feel like hell yeah. If any of you guys donate $100 right now and say, Cap G, play Fluffle Synchrons, like, all right, cool. I'll have fun because I'm not thinking about Fluffle Sync. I'm just thinking about that fucking $100, to be completely honest, chat. That's why I said specifically, before any YouTubers make counter videos, if your experience and your fun with Yu-Gi-Oh is monetarily motivated, it doesn't even fucking count. Like, you're not enjoying the game. You're just enjoying the money, man.
From multiple vendors that this will be short in terms of what they asked for. They're not going to get all the boxes that they asked for.
He's talking about vendors again, chat.
From their distro.
We as Yu-Gi-Oh players can all relate to vendors. How many of you guys are vendors, by the way, chat? Raise your hand in the chat if you guys are a vendor and you've ordered boxes of Rise of the Duelist. I feel like none of this relates to anything. Oh my god. That's why I made that point, chat. I knew it. I've been doing Yu-Gi tubing for too long. I knew that there was going to be a Yu-Gi tuber who basically, I wasn't sure if it was going to be Simo, but I knew there would be some Yu-Gi tuber who made a response video who was just like, no, Cap G, you're wrong. Yu-Gi-Oh is perfectly healthy and Numeron Cancer format is super fun and everything's perfectly awesome. I knew
and that's the big
someone
boys who have consistent
I
actual relations with their distro, as well as the 2020 10's one of the best selling sets. Now, I've heard people go, Konami's now shorting product. Gosh, G, you think Konami wouldn't want to take as much money as possible? We're able to go.
We're still talking about Konami money. We're still talking about short prints. We're not talking about how the game is actually better. I mean, again, I think Big Pimpin is just right. I think John's video is just Chat, maybe we're just, I guess I'll give John the benefit of the doubt, chat. I think that maybe we're just looking at Yu-Gi-Oh from two different prisms. I'm talking about Yu-Gi-Oh from my video, Yu-Gi-Oh is dead. I think I'm talking about an enjoyment standpoint, chat.
Market Watch is the only Yu-Gi tube content that matters.
Sure.
The entire reason to buy Yu-Gi-Oh cards is as an investment to get rich. Hammond LP is $750, first and only going up, so here's some JoJo music because Hammond breathing.
Thank you very much, Vintage Value CD. I have bloody shit on my phone. It's my wake up alert to stream, chat. Can't hear the teacher. I'm baffled. I want to see if my name comes up in the comments. I'm just baffled by this. JoJo matters more than this discussion. I mean, I guess. He sounds like Iverson with practice. I think. Control after fine. I mean, no one's mentioned. I'm just looking at the comments in general, chat. Roast them, and I'm not gonna respond. I don't even understand, like, JoJo should have been I love JoJo. I don't even understand how this could be drama. Check it out. Is it an expensive card? Vintage Value Yu-Gi-Oh? I mean, this is cool, but again, I say this to say I can't hear you. Who's gonna buy this, chat? Like, buyouts are cute and everything, but like, I don't think you're gonna find anybody to buy this. Like, I mean, I can list the Ultimate Haman for $1,000. That doesn't mean that it's worth that. Actually, worth. I kind of got over that aspect a while ago, chat. Like, when you see high numbers on like random cards. This person can change. Okay, so it's $750, right? What's stopping them from putting it at $790? That doesn't make the card that valuable, Chad. Like, I don't know. That's just the way I look at it. Come on, breathing is real. Okay. Yeah, Chad. I think I honestly think that I'm based. I mean, it honestly just seems. I'll just end it on this, chat. It seems like me and John are looking at the game from two very different angles. I was just talking about Yu-Gi-Oh from like a fundamental enjoyment angle and like how players feel about the game. John seems to be just talking about things strictly from a financial standpoint, which I personally don't think is relevant, because I think that 90% of the players, they're really not in tune to the financials of Yu-Gi-Oh. Like, the financials have to be at certain marks, chat, because if the financials are just terrible, right? Like, if Konami had a year where they sold 99% less Yu-Gi-Oh product, okay, well, now it's a problem, because like you gotta sell a certain amount to like keep things healthy and running and getting product and stuff like that. But the rest of the financials, chat, I personally just don't think that they really matter. You know what I mean? Like that's just the way that I'm looking
This
at
is
it.
what I like to see. Despite a walking floodgate, another floodgate.
And now he's talking about like I mean, that's fine, but we're already, he's talking, I guess this part of the video he's talking about like the format being healthy or interaction and stuff, but we're already 12 minutes into the video and most of it has just been talking about financials. So I don't know. If I'll tell you. Okay, we got a serious. Oh my God, it's the same song.
More Hammond music because first Hammond is a phenomenal investment that can make you a lot of money.
It's not just playing the game competitive. I agree with that, Soldier. But I think I can't even talk over the JoJo. Yeah, I can't even talk over the JoJo. Even role players, Soldier, they like playing at competitive events. At least I mean, like I still like going to regionals even if I'm not the most competitive player. At least not in Yu-Gi-Oh's market. Don't try to rely on a card game to earn money as a job. The game and the card prices fluctuate. I mean, that's for damn sure. Let's play a past format. I feel like we're gonna get this song spammed all night. How much are the other versions of Amon? We can find Amon for $1. I think. Amon. Yu-Gi-Oh! Walking away. I don't know what to tell you guys. Yeah, this is also a chat why I could never invest in Yu-Gi-Oh! Other than chat, Ghost Rares. Ghost Rares are like the one investment that I think are rock solid. And let's come out and go scumbag and reference them. Because just look at like we saw an ultimate rare $750, and we see an ultra rare 43 cents. Like what? You know what I mean? Let's play something that's not Yu-Gi-Oh! Me and Draco Sat just play road ships, and we have a lot of fun playing shit like Thunder Patrol and Luna Lights. I can talk about that a little more, but I can't really talk over it. Play Sacred Beast? I don't really want to play Sacred Beast. If you donate for me to build a Sacred Beast deck, I'll play it, but I don't know. Yu-Gi-Oh! Has been dead since 2011. Really? Really, guys? Was that a Tenza? You do realize this was Asian Eyes used this as one of his points to why Yu-Gi-Oh! Where's 2016 by the way? Let's see what we're at. Alright, here we go, chat. Look at 2011. 84. Hold on. Why doesn't this one show up? I don't know if I believe this. Yeah, I don't know. Yu-Gi-Oh! I know. There's people can type Yu-Gi-Oh! many different ways. You can't count that. It's so hard to try to talk over this song. And again, it's not like I don't have Bloody Stream on my phone, chat. Like I have Bloody Stream on my phone. It's literally the alert that tells me to stream. Yeah, it plays at 8 o'clock. This is so ridiculous as a statistic. Maybe you young Zoomers in the chat aren't old enough to remember this, chat. But I remember a time where Google was just a search engine and that was it. It wasn't even like a real company. And I don't think anyone in 2004 was like, no one fucking used, like any of you boomers, maybe like Big Pimpin can answer this or Anime Night. Did any of y'all use fucking Google in the early 2000s? Because I didn't. Like no one used Google. So I have a hard time believing that the highest Google search for Yu-Gi-Oh ever was in 2004 or 2005. Like really? 2004 was the highest time everyone used Bing. I'm pretty sure Bing didn't exist then. I think everyone used Yahoo back then, chat. I think everyone used Yahoo, but this is also irrelevant because when Asian Eyes made his whole campaign of Yu-Gi-Oh! Is dying, he used this graph, chat, and apparently we, I guess, not quite doubled, but this is just a very stupid statistic, chat. Oh my goodness. I'm not tilted, but I really thought of you guys were like, Cap, someone made a response video that killed all your art. Like I really expected so much better, chat. I really expected so much better.